All right, hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. Welcome, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here. It is Thursday. It's Thursday, the 8th of December of 2022. Thank you all so much for being here. My name is Otis Landerholm. I'm the founding attorney here at Landerholm Immigration, A.P.C, where we fight for your American dream. And thank you, everyone. Thanks for those of you who are on YouTube, and thanks for those on Instagram and on Facebook and on TikTok and on LinkedIn. Like, really, thank you all so much for being here, and welcome to another episode of the Empowered Immigrant Live. All right, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. So here at the Empowered Immigrant Live, we're here to train, teach, inspire, and empower immigrants to make the most out of immigration laws and to make the most out of their lives. All right? Today our theme is consular processing with alcohol issues. All right? And so I want to help you navigate. If you're looking to consular process a case, if you're looking to apply for a family-based case, through marriage, for example, but through the U.S. Consulate abroad, I want to explain some changes as to how the consulates are analyzing certain issues when you get to your consular appointment. Okay? My question for you is: do you want to get a green card this year? Right? Well, do you want to start the process this year? Because we're right at the end of the year. All right? And we'd love to get you into our consultations process. We'd love to help you with that in any way that we can. We'd love to give you clear, accurate, honest advice about that. My firm is on a mission to win 10,000 immigration cases in the next 10 years, and we would love for your case to be one of them. Okay? And thank you everyone for being here. Part of our live session, we'll do what I've prepared, but I also want to ask and answer any questions that are out there. And so if you have a question, please feel free to send it in. I'd love to answer it. Okay? And so to start with the Empowered Immigrant Live, I want to start by giving an empowerment tip. Okay? And so this is a little bit personal, but I wanted to share it as a tip. I don't think I've shared this in public before, but here it goes. And I think it's fitting because we're among the holidays, right? And I shared this with my team last week that, here's the truth, right? Often the holidays are an opportunity to be around family. And families often have dysfunction. And my family has some dysfunction. It didn't always have dysfunction, but it does at the moment. And there are things that we're working through. And sometimes that makes me sad. All right? But I want to share something that I am grateful for as I stand here today, the 8th of December of 2022. And that is that the other day, last week or just the week before, on Thanksgiving Day of this year, my dad and my mom were both in the same room for Thanksgiving this year. And that hasn't happened in 10 years. Okay? And I'm grateful for it. And my dad and my mom's new husband played cards with us. All right? Like that was beautiful. And so there was some perhaps tension, some, oh no, how is this going to go in the room? But you know something, there was also a bit of healing. So my question for you, if you're listening to me, is, hey, what's possible for you this holiday season? And what would you like to cause this holiday season in your family? And maybe there's something that you could do, or something you could try, or something that you could, go for that just might be able to cause some degree of healing in your family. And if you want that, hey, I invite you to try it. I invite you to try it. Heck, it might be the greatest holiday season that you've ever had. All right? All right, that's my empowerment tip. Hope it was useful. Hope it was helpful. If you do something, if you take something like that on in your life, hey, I'd love it if you let us know. Leave it in the comments. Let us know. Talk to us. It'd be great. All right? So that's my empowerment tip. Now I want to get into the law. All right? I love immigration law. I also hate immigration law. All right? I love helping people navigate the complexity that is the United States immigration law. So a couple of weeks ago, I was at an immigration law conference. All right? And if you are watching me right now, and if you work with another lawyer, you might ask them how frequently they attend or how frequently they speak at, right? Other conferences or legal conferences, because you do want a lawyer that stays on the top of the cutting edges, cutting changes and trends in immigration law. All right? And so I went to a panel that was describing some changes in the DSM-5. All right, have you heard of the DSM-5, the Diagnostical Statistical Manual, 5th edition? It's what psychologists, psychiatrists, mental health professionals use when they're diagnosing and reviewing someone's mental health condition. And remember that mental health conditions are relevant in immigration cases, all right? Because immigration law, specifically 212A1 of the Immigration and Nationality Act, creates inadmissibility, meaning they can deny you a visa if you have a quote-unquote physical or mental disorder that quote-unquote may pose or has posed a threat to property, safety, or welfare of yourself or others. So because of that, we have to pay attention to what is deemed and what constitutes a quote-unquote mental disorder as defined by psychologists, right? Immigration lawyers aren't, the people that diagnose that type of stuff. We have to look to psychologists for that. And so changes to the DSM and changes to psychological analysis need to be paid attention to when you're going through an immigration process. And so in that document, there are two disorders that I want to describe today, all right? One of them is called alcohol dependency disorder, and the other one is called alcohol abuse or alcohol abuse disorder. And those are things that a U.S. consular official can ask about, can look at, can and will at least ask some questions to you about if you are going through a visa application process before the U.S. consulate or the U.S. embassy overseas. Okay? And so if you're married to a U.S. citizen, or if you have a petitioner who's filed a petition for you, and if you're going through this process, you want to be aware and mindful, and I recommend you talk it through with your lawyer about these issues, especially if you have any DUI on your record, a driving under the influence of alcohol-related conviction on your record, or if you have any arrest whatsoever related to alcohol, even if it's not driving, even if it's just like intoxication in public or something like that. You want to talk those things through with your lawyer. And the best advice is that you be prepared and that you go through the process of preparing with your lawyer for your medical exam. Okay? Whenever you go through an immigration process, for example, at the U.S. consulate, you will be given a medical exam. And the doctors that are certified by the government to do those exams, they ask these types of questions. And, yeah, you want to be honest with those doctors, but you also want to be prepared because your answers can be held against you to deny you a visa. Okay? And so the best advice is to be cautious, all right? And talk it through with your lawyer. And you want to be aware, like, they'll ask you, how frequently have you drank alcohol in the past year? How much have you used alcohol in 1 year before that interview? All right? And arrests and things like that, they can look back even longer. And so you want to be conscientious. And my point, if you get nothing else from my conversation today, my point is to talk it through with your lawyer before you go to your consular appointment. Hopefully even before getting to that phase of your case, because that will help you maximize your chances of having that interview go smoothly. Got it? That's the point. That's the point. That's what I got. And so really that's what I wanted to go over today. That's really all that I wanted to go over today. And so if you have questions, please send them over. I don't see that I've received any questions so far. And yeah, I'd love to help you through it. In my experience, when there are health-related grounds of inadmissibility at the U.S. consulate, for example, the risk is that the consulate could say, hey, go and put yourself into alcohol treatment. And they could say, go do alcohol treatment and prove that you're clean for 1 year and then reapply for your immigrant visa at the interview. And so, that they have the power to do that. And so you want to be cautious. Fred in America, I see you here on Instagram. Hello, and thank you for being here. And you ask, what if you get denied at the consulate for that reason? Well, often, when it's health-related grounds, often the denial says, put yourself into some kind of treatment center for the next year, and then you can apply. And so that's a frustrating position to be in, especially if you're hoping to come back after 3 weeks or something. And so the best advice is talk it through so that we can avoid that scenario from the beginning. All right? And Fred, thank you for asking that question. I love it. All right? And so I don't see that we've gotten any other questions, but and so if there are any other questions, please send them over. I'd love to talk anything through with you. And if I don't get any other questions, hey, everyone, have a wonderful and a happy holiday season. All right, whatever practices or beliefs or however you celebrate the holidays, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever beliefs you have. I really hope that you enjoy them. And for my folks here on Instagram, MZ Kausari, hello, great to see you. Luis Niebles, hello, great to see you. Gaga Stikal, hello, welcome. Joe, Jim, Fred in America, Sharif, family happy, healthy. I love you guys. Thank you all so much for being here. Oh, there's one here. Are there other mental health issues that could be used against you in the immigration process? Certainly, when there is a finding that, let me go back and read the standard, and it's a fairly ambiguous standard. But what it is if there's any physical or mental disorder that may pose or has posed a threat to property, safety, or welfare, either of yourself or others. And so, like, a mental health disorder that may pose a threat to property, or to yourself, right? Those things are very, very broad. And so you want to talk them through. Like, arguably, if somebody has been hospitalized due to self-harm issues, you want to talk those issues through with your lawyer before you consular process anything, right? Each of these things can be brought up for sure, and you want to show evidence and documentation if there are other diagnoses out there that you have whatever situation you have under control, under treatment, or you're seeking, seeking or participating in therapy, ongoing therapy, and that it is not a threat, and it may not pose a threat to property safety or welfare. Okay, so that's my best advice about that. Sharif, you say hello. I have a friend that has an asylum claim, but he left over a year ago. Can he still come to continue? His case is pending. He went back to his home country for family issues. So thank you for asking that question. That is dangerous, okay? When a person files for asylum, they're saying that they're afraid for their life to return to their home country. And now if you're saying that they did go back to their home country, like that's a problem, all right? They probably... I'm not saying that they'll be denied asylum on that basis alone, but it's like they would need to talk it over very carefully with a lawyer before deciding how to navigate that issue, all right? Because they might just lose, all right? So, all right, you guys. Well, thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And so if I haven't answered your question, and if you still have one, please still send it over. If this was useful, please subscribe to our channel in YouTube. Please click the notifications bell. I'd love to answer those. Okay, I do see one more question. I'll answer that one, and then we'll wrap up. It comes from Jatin. Jatin, hello. You say you applied for a U visa in 2017 in October, and you applied for an EAD in 2020, and you got a bona fide letter in September 2022. Good job on that. That's great. And we want to know how long it'll take to get your work permit. Okay, that's a difficult question to answer, but now that your bona fide status determination was approved, it shouldn't be too much longer. Okay, it shouldn't be too much longer. So Jatin, typically I would say like 5 to 7 months after the bona fide determination comes in on a U visa, you should be eligible for your work permit as long as the I-765 was already filed with your case, okay? And as long as biometrics were done, okay? So I hope this was helpful. Joe, thank you. Sharif, thank you. MZ Kausari, thank you. Thanks to everybody that asked their question. Jatin, thank you for asking your question. Hey, thanks for being here. Please subscribe to our channel. Click that notifications bell. And if you have an immigration case, if you would like help to navigate an immigration situation, please give us a call. We are here to help. We would love to help you. All right, thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.